Hi, my name is Ng Seng Ling. More than 30 years ago, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I work in a company who sent me down to Johor Bahru to set up the branch. So during the shifting of the office, we faced many difficulties. So my friend recommended me to worship a Buddha. So we went over to Singapore to bring over a Buddha to put in our office. This is the first time I'm worshipping a Buddha. So I listened on how do we take care of Buddha every 1st and 15th of the lunar month. And then I need to pray the front, and I need to go to the back of the office to pray to the outside gods. There's many gods to pray. So it gives me the impression that I'm praying so that I can have a peaceful life. I have a good family and good business for my company. I prayed this for more than 30 years, believing that this idol can protect me. Unfortunately, on the July 27th, I caught COVID-19. I was quarantined in my own house. At that time, I already have my first shot of AZ. I believe that with my strong body, I can overcome this sickness easily. I took many medications recommended by the doctor and my friend, ivermectin, many Chinese herbal medication. I took all. Unfortunately, on the 4th night, the fever doesn't recede. My oxygen level drops from 96 to 94%. So we started to panic. My wife and children called every hospital in the Klang Valley. No hospital want to accept us because they are all fully occupied with so many patients. Under this condition, luckily there was my wife have a friend from an insurance company who knows a doctor in a Gleneagles hospital. He said at this, with this condition, with all the hospital fully booked, it's better you send your husband to the emergency ward and get him checked out, because it can be very dangerous if the oxygen level drops further. With this information, we took it upon ourselves to save ourselves. We cannot rely on ambulance to come and save us. For me, luckily I bought the oxygen tank at home. So I took the oxygen tank into my car and I drove to a hospital slowly with my wife and son following behind in another car. The reason is to prevent them from catching COVID. When we reached the hospital, the Jaga don't want to let us in because I think under instruction, no COVID patient can check in. But we shared with them, the doctor, the emergency ward asked us to come for checkup. So they reluctantly let us in. So we had the X-ray and blood test in the emergency ward. During that time, the emergency doctor came and see us. He said the lungs condition is fine. But the blood test showed that I have a very high reactive protein, which means that the virus is starting to work in my body. Right? But however, he said, you need to find another hospital because we don't have any rooms here for COVID patient. But at that time, it's already 2:30 in the morning. So we said, where can we find a hospital at this time of the morning? So he reluctantly said, okay, you can stay in the emergency ward until the next day, and then you need to look for a new hospital. So the next morning, a new doctor came and see us. My condition is starting to worsen because I need oxygen, aid of oxygen to help me to breathe. And he informed me that there is somebody checking out from the COVID ward today, and then I may take that room. So I waited in the emergency ward for more than 18 hours before I was allowed to be given the room. I thank God that this doctor was able to give me a room, or else we don't know where we're going to go. Yeah? On the 3rd day in the hospital, my condition worsened. My lungs is starting to get congested. I need more oxygen. I think we went up to 5 liters per minute of oxygen to get me on my oxygen level high enough to be able to be alert. I cough out a lot of blood because I think the virus is attacking my lungs. So the doctor implemented the steroid treatment for me. Yeah, the doctor say my condition is in stage 4. So it's a very critical stage. If I don't improve, I might need to go into ICU, then we need to have artificial respiration, which the machine will pump oxygen into my body. That will be serious. So during this stage, I received a message from my cousin brother saying that I'm praying for you, believe in Jesus, He will save you. I was surprised by this message because my cousin brother, as I know, is not a Christian. However, these few words bring peace to my heart, which I've never felt before for the last 30 years, praying for so many idols. But after I recovered, I finally found out that he was also a COVID patient in May. And during his time in Sungai Buloh Hospital, he received the same message from his Christian friend. And after he recovered, he finally also believed in Jesus Christ. So during the night, I was under medication. I dreamt about all the gods that I prayed before in my life. They seem to be coming to tell me to forget about Jesus Christ. But I started to think I don't want to go back to the old gods that I've been praying for so many years. I want to believe in Jesus Christ, but I cannot know what to do. So I decided to sing the few verses of Amazing Grace. I said, I'm blind before, but now I'm found. Right, so I tried to sing this song over and over again until all this, the old gods, the noise goes away. Yeah, for the last 30 years that I prayed for so many idols, I don't remember any of them coming to save me. But for this time, I feel that I'm just resting in the grace of Jesus Christ, which is very, very peaceful. Even many times I come to church, and many times the pastor and friends visited my house and trying to talk to me on Christianity, I'll find many excuses to argue with them, which I never have faith that this religion is better than my idols before. After I realized Jesus has been waiting for me for the last 30 years, I opened myself to receiving Him at night. So I start to think what I've done for the last 30 years in my business, in my personal life. I felt I've done many things wrong. I always believe I am a team leader. Everything I say, people should listen. However, I feel humbled by Jesus' grace. So I felt very, very ashamed. That's why I was crying all night sometimes, still realizing God. So I feel that I'm actually very, very small. I need to be an instrument because everything that happened in my life is actually on the grace of God. I should be listening rather than doing things my way all the time. I need to let God lead me rather than I'm leading everything by myself. This is what I learned after realizing the grace of Jesus Christ. I told all my staff that I've been a failure for the last 25 years. The way I lead them is wrong. I never accepted anybody's opinion or suggestion. I do that the same thing to my family. First thing I apologize is my son, which I hope he can forgive me because I have always been very, very strict on them, thinking that I'm always right and then they should follow my way. So after I apologized to them, I think I found out that they actually love me more. I think first thing to do for myself is to let people know that I did wrong. I must admit that I did wrong in order for me to recover all the broken relationship that I've done in my life. So I'm glad that I found Jesus Christ during my time of weakness, and I praise the Lord for saving me from this COVID-19.